So what this is the summer league roster. So the Raptors finalized their summer league squad for this upcoming summer league in Vegas. It starts on Friday. I'll actually be doing some watch alongs, so make sure you tap into the channel for that. Summer league games aren't obviously the most entertaining games or the most fun to watch, but that's why I think doing a watch along would be interesting, because it's an opportunity to hang out with other people that are watching the game. It's an opportunity to get conversations going, to react live to what's going on with other people. And I think that'll be an awesome opportunity. So make sure you're checking out the channel for that. Make sure you press the like button on those streams. Make sure you're subbing to the channel so you don't miss when I go live, because those streams I think could be a lot of fun. So the first point of the Summer League squad is who's not on the squad. So Jeff Doughton, who has an injury, and Christian Coloco, who has a respiratory illness, are going to miss out on Summer League. Now, I feel drastically different about both those players not being in the Summer League squad. I think with Christian Coloco, it really, really sucks. And the reason is not just that he's not going to be there, but if he's resting an illness that we know is going to keep him out of the whole tournament, that's going to extend for the next 2 weeks, that means he's probably missed a considerable amount of time prior to this as well. And with that being the case, Christian Coloco isn't able to put his all into his development this offseason. And that really sucks, because development is what Christian Coloco needs. I find him a fascinating prospect because what he's good at is so clear and defined, but what he's bad at is also so clear and defined. With that being the case, I think it's fairly simple what his development trajectory should look like. And that's kind of what makes me excited for him, is because I don't think it's possible for there to be any confusion about what he needs to develop. And I figured throughout the first couple off seasons of his career, he'll definitely be attacking those things. With Christian Coloco, you know he can affect shots at the rim defensively. You know he can run up and down the court, and you know he can jump, like he can leap. He's an athlete for somebody who's as tall as he is. But what you also know is that he is very weak. He is someone who gets bullied quite a bit. His finishing is not there at all. And a part of his issues with finishing is his lack of strength. Like, despite the fact that he sometimes finds himself in advantageous positions around the rim, he'll still get bullied away from the basket, and he'll still get knocked off balance when he's shooting. He obviously doesn't have much of a perimeter shot, even though he gets the opportunity to shoot the ball. So if that's the case, they must see some potential in him, and they also must see him practicing in practice enough for him to even be allowed to take those shots. So if you look at it like there's a player that could be a slightly better shooter, well, probably much better shooter, who could be a lot stronger, who could gain some more instinct, some more toughness, some more basketball IQ as he just familiarizes himself with the sport, as somebody who picked the sport up late in his career. He's somebody who I think would benefit a lot from these kind of opportunities. If not even just for the Raptors and for fans to kind of get like a checkup on where he's at as a player, but that won't happen. So I'm really disappointed in that regard. And with Jeff Doughton being the other player that's not going to be there, personally, I don't mind. I don't mind that at all. I watched the summer league games last year, and Jeff Doughton, I think, was really good in the summer league last year. And frankly, I think he showed that he's at a level where those games aren't so important for him. He can go to those games and Toolbox One in the chat is it's the dick show all summer league, baby. It definitely is. It definitely is. Everybody's cleared out for Gradey Dick. He's definitely the star of this team. Jeff Doughton's not going to be there to be on the ball like that. Oddly enough, like, I'm actually happy he's not going to be there because Marquise Noel can be on the ball more. But like I said, Jeff Doughton's too good for the summer league. I think that's what I saw last year. So happy with him not being there. Now, if we look at the team that is going to be there, I'm not going to lie to you. A lot of players that obviously I'm not familiar with at all, but there are a couple observations I made that we can run through. So Moses Brown is on the team. Moses Brown is, I think, like a good he's a good kind of bust to give opportunities to in situations where you have nothing to lose. And the reason is because he has a very clear demonstrated skill set. He's 7'2", 250. He's big. He's athletic for that size. And if you look at his production over the course of his career, whether that's summer league, G League, college, like he's gonna get you rebounds and he's gonna finish around the basket. Now, basically everything else he's gonna get wrong. But with a player that has such clear like not upside, but such clear things that are going good for him and such demonstrated skills, you kind of know where to start with a player's development. So if Moses Brown, if this is an indication that he'll be on the Raptors 905, that's fine by me. Who knows? Put him around some good development people. Maybe he builds some other skills. Maybe he builds a better feel for the game and things get better for him. So happy that he's on the squad. We'll see how he fares. Ron Harper Jr. That's a player that I want to see because I think he's playing for a roster spot. Like he's playing for an opportunity to be in training camp. And I watched Summer League last year and I was pretty disappointed in him last year. He was a player we signed after the draft as an undrafted player. And there was all this hype of him being obviously Ron Harper's son. So I was gassed to see him in Summer League as one of our higher profile players. And he just looked like somebody who was just not ready. Like he did not get on the ball much. He was just camped at the 3-point line, sitting around waiting for the ball. When the ball did get to him, he made threes at like a middling rate. But yeah, you could just see that the Summer League level even was a little bit too early for Ron Harper Jr. So we'll see if he's taken any strides. And if he plays well, he, might get a training camp opportunity with a higher guarantee as opposed to either not getting a training camp opportunity or not getting a guarantee at all in his tryout deal. So the next guy that I'll make note of is Mohamedou Gay, because he's the Vision 6'9" guy on this team. I knew for a fact that there would be a Vision 6'9" guy because this is just what the Raptors do. So he's 6'9", 210. Of course, I looked up his wingspan. It's 7 foot. So this guy's probably going to be on the Raptors 905. This is the Raptors type. They like keeping these kind of players around. So if you see that name again, know that you heard it here first. And to go along with somebody who's sticking around quite a bit, David Johnson's on the team. So that's our former second-round pick who infamously, I don't think played a single minute in a Raptors uniform, who wasn't on a Raptors contract last year, but was on a Raptors 905 contract. So the fact that they still haven't gotten rid of him, like I guess they see something in him. They drafted him. They put him in the G League. He failed miserably from what I've heard. And then they gave him a G League contract. And now he's back in Summer League. So maybe he's a player that's also playing for an opportunity to be in training camp. There's a RJ Nembhard who I thought, okay, is that like a relative of the Nembhard in Indy who's from Canada? And it's not. It's just a random guy. So that sucks. And then there's obviously Marquise Noel. We know what we're going to look for there. That's just like, it's just going to be the shortest guy on the court in every game. And he'll probably be good. So that'll be fun to see. Also, he's Noel wearing 24. So he's just like one letter off of a Norman Powell jersey. So that'll be nice as well. And then rounding it out, there's Joe Wieskamp, who is on the Raptors right now. He is on an unguaranteed deal that guarantees after Summer League. So the stakes are pretty high. He's either going to get his contract guaranteed and probably in that case guaranteed a roster spot, or he's going to get cut. So stakes are high for him. He has quite a bit to play for. We'll see how that goes. Toolbox One adds, in all seriousness, the player I'll be watching the most is Noel. The forwards are kind of a wash, and Gradey is obviously exciting. We need depth guards for the roster. So I agree with that. I think the thing with Noel, right? The big question is, how is he going to fare being so small with such size around him? Now, the Summer League isn't going to be a high level of play in terms of basketball, but these are like NBA bodies for the most part. Like even if you just look at our squad, I'll get the comment off the screen. Generally, you see a fairly big roster. There's a bunch of 6'9" guys, a bunch of 6'8" guys, a 7-footer, a 6'10" guy. Like the Summer League squads will have NBA size. So even just that is going to be an opportunity to see how he fares. And what I'm going to be interested to see is that I think it's fair enough to assume that in the way Fred Van Vliet, the main way he could impact basketball games a lot of the times offensively is to just shoot the shit out of the 3-point shot. That'll probably be the case with Marquise Noel. But I want to see if he has anything else in his bag. Like if he has any other tricks to get looks in other parts of the court, because that's what's going to give him some sustainability in the NBA. If you're just a guy who jacks up threes, that's inherently a up and down thing. 3 point shot is a high variance thing, so you can almost like cap out his viability as an NBA player, because the reality is his production is guaranteed to go up and down. So you're not going to look at him as much more than a okay bench player, especially considering his size defensively. But if he can establish some other things offensively, he might have a chance to be a player that contributes during the regular season. Yeah, it's going to be an actually good test for Noel. Yeah, it should be. It should be. Like I said, all NBA teams are bought in on the idea that having size in the backcourt and on the perimeter is good. And summer league isn't like a something they use, like it's not something that they waste in terms of testing out those kind of players. So he'll play against a good amount of size, and if he fails miserably, then we know to keep our standards low from the beginning. But if he cooks and we get gassed, we'll see. There's a chance he does it in the NBA. So that's all for the summer league squad, because ultimately it's the summer league squad. Like it's not that serious, but when we're thirsty for basketball during the July months, we'll take what we can get. And at the end of the day, it's the Grady Dick Show. We're here for the content. Raptors Twitter and Reddit and just social media in general gets really toxic, except for when like Grady Dick content hits the timeline. So that's what we need to save us right now. And then the last thing, if you like this video, it's a clip from a longer live stream, which is the main way I do content at Toronto Hoop Talk. Live streams are an awesome way to keep people involved as I'm making the content. I love hearing from you guys as I'm speaking on issues. So if you like this video, make sure you check out the full live stream at Toronto Hoop Talk, and make sure you sub to the channel so that you see when I go live.